Hello, everyone, and welcome to State of the Realm, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. This week, straightforward, Live Letter 59, Patch 5.3 trailer. We're going to talk about it. Should be a surprise to nobody. So let's get started. I'm one of your hosts, Mr. Happy. Of course, joining me is Sly, aka brand new camera, but Discord probably won't do it as much justice as his own live stream does. How you doing, Sly?
I'm doing pretty good. Sorry if you hear a lawnmower, the landscaping company.
I straight up didn't hear it until you said the word lawnmower, and then I heard it for a fraction of a second.
Yeah,
that's
what it is. So, sorry.
I'm not worried about it. I'm sure we're gonna be fraught with other technical difficulties that a lawnmower might actually be a welcome distraction. And since he's staring so, I don't even have a word for that into the camera. For anything involving trailers and Ethys is here. I don't even want to. We don't need to explore anything else. Hi.
What's going on, guys?
Hey,
yeah, he's in his porn dungeon with his microphone.
That's right. Yeah. I'm in a casting room.
Yeah.
If you hear any lawnmowers, it's like you should have just blamed that on me. I can take the fall for technical difficulties today.
No, trust me. You know I've had my fair share. I can't use OBS anymore. I can't keep doing this. We've crashed like 4 times before the stream even started. My internet's also dropped a few frames, like literally in the last 5 minutes.
We can just pretend that we can just pretend that I'm hosting from the shitty Wi-Fi here. If you're like happy to do that.
I don't think that's gonna work.
You. It's my fault. Whatever it is today, it's my fault. All right.
All right.
I've been traveling north. In Norway for the last 24 hours, and I haven't slept for about 48 now. Hi everyone. I'm here from my Chromebook, and I'm holding my Blue Yeti, and I feel like I'm doing a set. I feel like I'm here doing like open mic night or something.
Say something funny.
Say something funny.
Yeah.
No, I got nothing.
I laughed. You got me.
I got nothing.
There you go. No.
Look, if I fall asleep like halfway through the show, just let me don't wake me up, please.
Yeah, chat says you should have just said something funny. Like quote unquote. Yeah.
That's good. That's good, chat. Thanks.
It is good. Thank you. All right. So before we get started with the very obvious topic, as most of you know, we usually have a sponsor read at the start of the show. We will, but something a little weird. On the Twitch side of things, we're going to just do our normal sponsor read. On the YouTube side of things, if you're watching this on YouTube the day after, or even if you're listening to an audio form, there's going to be an extra ad. The show is also sponsored by the new Romancing Saga mobile game that recently released, but like I said, there's going to be a full minute ad that's playing on the YouTube. So for editing purposes, now. This video is sponsored by Square Enix and their new mobile game, Romancing Saga Reuniverse. This mobile game was recently released globally and is based on the long-running Romancing Saga RPG franchise. It features traditional turn-based combat, weapons, gear, levels, and a full story for you to enjoy, and they're always adding new content, so you'll always have plenty to do. There's all sorts of events, daily quests, and my favorite thing is the ability to send off units on expeditions, which will automatically complete over time while you're asleep or working for more rewards. I like to do it before my live stream or before I go to bed, so that way I can wake up to some stronger units. On top of all that, the game prides itself on its free-to-play friendly monetization, and I can say they're doing a pretty good job. Not only can tons of stuff be earned in events or bought with a generic in-game currency called Orem, but they hand out premium currency like candy. You can even watch ads to earn bonus currency, and you get a free unit roll daily. It's a lot of fun, so if you want to give it a try for free, click the link in the description, download it, and start playing today. And now, on to the video. Okay, and then I'll have edited that in, but you guys on the Twitch side...
That was a banging ass ad, dude. Man, I'm excited.
It's got me talking
about it. That was pretty good. They put a lot of production quality in that. The sound was good.
You're not gonna watch it tomorrow.
I'm really excited to check it out
on YouTube, are you? No.
Well, I might, because I like to watch the only State of the Realm episodes I really watch are the ones with Ethys on. The others you guys get, you all know, they're just kind of filler, really.
Yeah.
I'll watch it definitely.
Okay. All right. Good. Glad to hear it. Of course, you guys know SteelSeries is sponsor for the show as well. They have been. They will continue to be. 12% discount code in the stream. If you type !SteelSeries, YouTube, description of the video, as well as a download link for that first sponsor. That's down there too, don't forget. And monthly giveaway. So don't forget to enter that under the YouTube video as well. Finally, our patron sponsors whose names are scrolling in the top right. We will be giving them a special shout out later in the stream, because this is going to be a long one. I hope your shitty Wi-Fi can hold up.
Hold on, let me check.
Okay.
Yeah, I got enough band for this. All right, we're good.
I'll do my best.
You'll do your best?
I do not. I will do my best.
All right, well...
It might get a little bit weird, but I'll do my best.
It was weird the second the show started. Yeah.
Was it?
Was it? Was it?
Yeah.
Was it?
I introduced you in your porn dungeon.
You know, you did do that.
Yeah. I did. So yeah.
Just play the fucking trailer, Mike.
He didn't even let me segue into it. Yeah, we're gonna start by watching trailers. So I'm gonna warn everyone on the Twitch stream. Before I click anything, as you know, we've run into a lot of technical difficulties in recent weeks, whether it's been audio misstarts at the beginning or whatever. Before this stream started, before what you guys are watching on Twitch started and what you're watching on YouTube, I was getting the trailer set up and it crashed OBS 3 or 4 times. I finally got a setup that didn't crash it. I'm going to click that setup now without the confidence that it will not crash. So if it crashes, YouTube, you'll have a trailer edited in. Twitch, go find the trailer, because I'm not going to try a second time. So fingers crossed. I'll know in 3, 2, 1. Okay. It looks like it's fine. All right, let's watch the trailer.
Okay.
Yours is a long road, my friend.
Another star shower. Wait, is that...
And there may come a day when you forget the faces and voices of those you have met along the way.
Excellent. I had intended to speak with you alone.
Having drawn your strength from such a cacophony of voices, can you truly be sure you still speak with your own?
No. I won't let you go alone. Not this time. Joy you have known. The pain you have felt. The prayers you have whispered and answered.
Come, warrior of darkness! Let us finish this!
They shall ever be your strength and your comfort. When all is said and done, I would ask a favor of you.
All right. And luckily it didn't crash. And that is the 5.3 trailer. Oh boy.
Oh my god, that track slapped.
That is a juicy trailer, to say the least. Can I say one thing about it? One thing.
Go ahead.
Called it.
Only one, and then we're going to move on to the rest of the show. Okay.
I already said it. I said it. Called it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're fighting giant robots against Sapphire Weapon.
Elaborate.
Yeah. We are indeed having a giant robot battle against Sapphire Weapon. I called that.
How do you anticipate that to play out?
They give us 5 actions and we kick his ass.
Yeah, you. All right. Oh, and any 5 actions? Do you think it's going to be the same as like any of the role-playing instances?
Yeah.
Well, to kind of like jump ahead. Sorry, they did say that we will have a rotation with said robot.
Yeah, I mean, Estinian had a rotation of 1 button and then occasionally pressing something else. I don't think it's going to be more complicated than 5 or 6 buttons. I don't. Giant laser. Have you used an AIS in PSO2? I expect it to be like that. I expect it to be no different than that.
You mean not using our lasers?
No, we had lasers in the trailer, so we're gonna use the laser. Fires a giant laser at that. But yeah, there's a lot to unpack about that trailer. That's a mix of speculation and waiting to see what's a red herring and what isn't.
Yeah.
I don't even, honestly, it's 2 minutes that I don't even know where to begin. Like it's so much. That's why I started with called it.
All right. Well, how about this? What's Ellentill up to? Let's start with that.
It's exactly what he told us he was up to 3 patches ago. It seems like, at the very least, he's literally making good on his end of 5.0 promise. I'm curious about something, though, because so he's clearly summoning Warriors of Light to the first to kill the Warrior of Darkness, exactly as he said he was going to. We don't know where they came from, if those are just the citizens of the first that he's turned, or like we don't. That's the only thing we don't know. Because it looks like he used the Crystal Tower and Graha's magic to do exactly what Graha did, which would imply that Ellentill has some mastery over Asian or Allagan technology.
Which is curious because we know that that Emmett Selk was behind the Empire, and we also know that the stuff that Graha tiered, like the Ironworks, the future Ironworks stuff that was done to the tower, wasn't known to Emmett Selk, and he didn't bother to investigate. Again, Emmett Selk's shortcoming was his hubris, and the fact that he thought he held all the cards, the fact that he thought he knew what the Crystal Tower did and didn't bother to investigate when he could have quite easily discovered the twinning. Ellentill has done his homework. He's done his due diligence one way or the other. But that was the question, right? Was we thought in 5.2 that he was going to be, lifting up all of these various citizens of Novrant and turning them into warriors of light. But you're right. It seems like he's literally doing the same thing that that Graha does when we fight Hades, where he's summoning from across the rift. Through time and space, various warriors of light from other shards and other time periods, and that's the gauntlet. Like the dungeon is called the Hero's Gauntlet, and I think it's going to be very literal. We're going to be fighting through a gauntlet of heroes.
Do you think those are just
all through Norvrant?
Yeah, I'm curious where that actually begins, because it looks like I'm assuming the dungeon
begins in Yulma.
Yeah. Oh well, so here's the thing. I'm debating that because there's a cutscene we see where the airship is attacked by a Dragoon Warrior of Light, and I'm assuming the end of that airship crash is the start of the dungeon, which would be closer to the Crystarium. Because otherwise it would imply there's a cutscene somewhere before we actually get within, because Yulmor's on an island. It's on the Lenosha equivalent of the geography. So I think it starts
Yeah,
wherever the
but-
airship crashes.
When we have a look at some of those shots, and we were seeing this on the patch point 5.3 site as well. There's some very like fake looking, like very pixie looking elements to it.
Yeah.
So I think that we're going to find ourselves in a position where we have to get to the Crystarium very quickly and get the hell out of Novrant, whether or not Graha is entirely ready to go forward with his plan. The only way that we're going to be able to get there is through the help of the only ally that we will have left in all of Novrant, given that Elidibus is going to be turning that whole realm against us, and that, of course, is going to be Titania and the Fae.
Fae will always to the
Now,
rescue.
this is really compelling. This is really compelling because we have been talking about really since 5.0 that Graha is going to have to find a way to send us back without sacrificing himself, because his original plan was to sacrifice himself. When we decided not to do that, not to go through with that, all of this planning, all this preparation would be irrelevant if he was going to go through like a willing sacrifice. But if we're given a time restraint, we've been put in the position where if we don't get off of the shards within the next 30 minutes or whatever, or us and all the scions are going to be killed, then suddenly Graha might have to go through with that that noble sacrifice in one way or another to send us back.
So you're saying it's a moot point? Like he's not even going to get a choice in the matter.
Originally people were saying like, oh, he's still going to end up dying. He's still going to end up sacrificing himself.
And that's what
sacrificing himself was a moot point.
Yeah.
Until now, where suddenly there's this time restraint where it seems like everyone else is in danger, and it's like Graha's going to have a very, very short window of time in which to either figure out how to get us back without sacrificing himself, or he's going to have to just go for it, whether he lives or dies. And that is, of course, the point of contention and tension that we're seeing in the trailer. And I think that's the question on everyone's lips at the moment, is whether or not the Exarch comes out of this alive.
And that's why he is the sole person narrating pretty much the entire trailer. Obviously, it's from a scene in game, but they use it outside of like 2 voice lines from like, I think like Ishtola and one other person. He's the only one speaking. It's all about him.
Mm-hmm.
So
are we willing to hedge our bets?
Are we hedge our bets that he'll live?
One way or the other.
That motherfucker's dead.
You think he's done?
I think he's done.
What do you think, Sly?
I'm trying to really give the benefit of the doubt and like think of some warrior of light, warrior of darkness bullshit that keeps him alive. That we've seen in the past. But I can't bring myself to even think about that. I think he's gone either way.
And keep in mind, gone is relative, and a character we actually interact with is one thing, because he's
what? Well, Nah, that wouldn't make sense. To ship him back to the.
Oh no, that wouldn't make sense.
He's ship him back to the source.
Crystal.
Yeah, he's gone.
He's turning into crystal is the one thing. That's the big takeaway I have.
Yeah,
He's going to be a statue by the time this is all done.
Mm-hmm.
Just in the crystal tower.
Well, I'm gonna set up my tinfoil tent here for a moment, if that's okay with you guys.
Oh, go ahead. We love that. We love that.
And I'm gonna give like a crazy third alternative. He might live, he might die. The third alternative is that he does both. And
Schrodinger's Grahatira?
Well, no, not quite. Let me spell it out for you. So we know that the power of the royal algan blood, the royal algan eye, all of that is to basically be able to transmit essence through crystal, or something to that effect, right? The sort of transfusion of like anima and crystal. I think that he's going to have to send us like through him and subsequently through the tower. That's going to crystallize him, but it's also going to send his essence through the tower into the sleeping Graha at the other end, and they're going to have like a confluence. So we're going to get Old Man Grahatir and Novrat, his body perishing, him waking up in young Grahatir, boring Grahatir, post-Crystal Tower, sleeping Grahatir over in Moderna. There you go.
That was the idea I was bringing up. Like, I was thinking like somehow he gets shipped to the source. So
I just think Source Graha is waking up. I don't think he's gonna awaken inside of Source Graha. But it does bring me back to the conversation we've had where it's like, man, if only we knew someone on the source who could help us with all this. And then it's like, and then we have Makoto, we have Graha on the source, and they're just like, no, not them. That doesn't count.
Well, we can't get at Graha in the source. The Crystal Tower's sealed. He's the only one that can unseal it. We have no way of getting in there. But Makoto, that's always been a bit of a her and Unukalhai, like times recently, I've just been like,
I can't wait. I can't wait for the memes for when we go back to the source. It's like, no, Graha, I want this Graha. It's like, don't worry, we have Graha at home. Graha at home, and then it shows the one on the source. It's can't wait. I can't wait for that meme.
Graha at home sucks, all right? Yeah. Graha at home is not an interesting character. So I really hope that there is some sort of confluence, and like Exarch Graha and maybe Graha do become like the one person. They kind of like, well, I guess like rejoin would be what would happen effectively, I suppose.
It's weird because it's not like his soul was ever split, because this isn't a result of the sundering. This is just two time frames.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Is like if you can rejoin with yourself from other timelines, then you can become more than like 14/14ths of a person.
I don't like math.
I don't like this rabbit hole. But
this feels like quantum physics. Yeah, this feels like Allegan quantum physics, and I hate it. No, let's not do it.
Actually, this kind of feels like that piece I wrote on the quantum physics of Endgame. Actually,
that's something I don't want to talk about. He doesn't want actual quantum physics. I don't want Endgame quantum physics. I just don't want it.
No, I hear that.
Another question is Elidibus. Where are you gonna go with that before I jumped us on a tangent at this?
No, that's fine. I was gonna try and move us on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What?
Well, we obviously have to find out his actual identity. I think that's a big part of it. Like how we found out Emmett Selk was Hades. I feel like us finding out Elidibus' actual identity, because we established that whoever we know Elidibus is a title. It's not his actual name. Just like we know about Vanal with Hydaelyn. So we clearly have like a true name to find out here. Whether or not there's any relevance to it, I don't know if we're killing him this patch. I don't feel confident that we are. I don't think he's dead this patch. I think we fight him, but I don't think he's dead this patch.
Well, here's the thing. We've been told for a long time that Shadowbringers is wrapping up with this patch. And with it, the story arc that has been unfolding before us since Yoshida took the reins is also going to be concluding. And we're going to be moving on to the next thing. Hydaelyn and Zodiac is going to be resolved somehow. And the whole, Garlean threat is also going to be resolved somehow. or at least to the point where like whatever comes next can be seen of as an entirely new narrative arc. So if we don't kill Elidibus, I think there's only one alternative that remains for Elidibus, right? And I think we were talking about this in the 5.2 spoiler cast, weren't we? About what Elidibus's deal may be.
Yeah.
Do either of you remember the conversation we were having then?
Nope.
Okay.
Sly. I'm assuming I spoke for both of us right there.
Yeah.
So we established that Elidibus was originally something like Vannat, right? That whoever held the position of Elidibus prior to the summoning of Zodiac became the heart of Zodiac, right? And that our Elidibus is almost definitely someone that was promoted to that position after the summoning of Zodiac, and is therefore not necessarily tempted by Zodiac in the way that the other Ascians are. And we found like a couple of little pieces of evidence here and there through Elidibus's dialogue, but most notably was when he was talking about his loyalties in 5.2. He was constantly talking about the convocation. My allegiance lies with the convocation. My loyalties are with the convocation. He doesn't talk about Zodiac with the fanaticism that Emmett Selkin and Laha Brea does, like if at all. And subsequently, even though Elidibus seems like the least amenable to communication and discourse and dialogue, he is also, if this is true, he is also technically the only person that we could talk out of the dogged pursuit of the rejoining and the summoning of Zodiac.
You feeling like putting that mic down? It was a little scratchy. I wasn't sure if your arm was getting tired or not.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, it's no worries. We signed up for this. I wasn't sure if it was like your arm was like scratching against something because it was getting tired or something. I wanted to give you the opportunity to put it down. No? Okay. Just making sure. No, you're still good. I just wanted to let you know. Because chat was bringing it up. It doesn't bother me, though. Yeah, I don't...
Sorry, chat.
I can't help but feel like a little... Here's the thing for me. Like, this whole Hydaelyn Zodiac thing, you know, we're coming towards a pretty major climax with it. But again, we still have the actual threat, which I think is the actual arc, the thing that triggered the summoning of Zodiac and Hydaelyn in the first place. I'd be shocked to see us go in any direction that's not that. Having Zodiac with not a single Unsundered left to communicate with seems like not a great play to actually go into this sort of scenario with. Because Zodiac is very much an enemy of that thing as much as he is anything else. Primal or not, he doesn't... That thing... Although that thing led to his existence, so who knows with that, actually. We don't actually know what his will is. We only know what the Unsundered Ascians wanted. But Elidibus claims to speak
so are you
with his
suggesting that we're going to find like a compromise with him?
To some degree. Because something has to give. They can't just exist. Like, I don't see a universe where Hydaelyn and Zodiac just exist. The Ascians are gone, though. And so Zodiac's just like, cool. I'll chill on the moon. Until Xenos tries to...
Go ahead, Sly.
This might be a purely aesthetics thing. Okay. Remember when we first saw, you know, Emmett Selks, I guess we can call them, their Ascian signals or whatever, or their Ascian symbols, excuse me, whenever they do their red symbols over their face. Emmett Selks was Zalera, if we remember, if anybody can remember that. Why is Elidibus's Zodiac himself?
That's probably...
You
well,
look at the...
how familiar are you with Ivalice's symbols? Because that's kind of how it's always been with him. I'm willing to bet I know Elidibus' actual name. I'm that confident.
You said it last time.
Yeah.
You said it last time, but yeah.
I'm feeling confident he's either Ophiuchus or Serpentarius. One of the two is probably his true name. Because that's literally, there's never been... So Zodiark's entire lore in Ivalice is very akin to our real-life explanation for not using the 13th Zodiac. He's basically forgot. Like, he exists, he's known, but he's essentially exiled, in a sense. The same way that we don't use the Ophiuchus. That's why he's associated with Ophiuchus and Serpentarius, because those are representations of the 13th one. Elidibus is no different, essentially. He represents that 13th notion, just like he does in the tactics game, and just like he probably has for the last 12,000 years.
See, that's interesting, because when it was revealed that Emet-Selch was Hades, the natural assumption that a lot of people were having is that the three unsunned Ascians were going to follow like the sort of core Hellenic trinity of Hades, Zeus, Poseidon. But I suppose, like, one way or another, it's completely arbitrary, whatever his true name is, I think.
Just like Hades was?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, it led to a really good Tales from the Shadow story, which we're getting more of in August.
That's true. That's true. With Phoenix, which, you know what, I had the revelation the other day that when Emet-Selch says that Hydaelyn and Zodiac are the eldest and most powerful of primals, he's wrong. They might be the most powerful, but Phoenix is the eldest. Even though the first summoning of Phoenix was an accident, you know, that was when they realized that they could put souls into creations, into their like creation magics, the monsters that they were creating, and that was the genesis of Icon or Primal summoning. So there you go. Emet-Selch's for the shit. No.
Good explanation.
Anyway.
So Ethys, as to your guess, because we got Mike's guess. Who is Elidibus?
He's Elidibus. Like, I honestly don't care.
Yeah.
On that.
Okay.
I just want to be
I
right.
haven't really bothered to speculate.
I'm keeping it. I'm like as the far reach, which will be wrong. I'm just gonna keep it simple and say he is actually a Zodiark. Okay,
so you think we're gonna find out that he's not like an Elidibus that was promoted? He is he is like the heart of Zodiac. He's the same Elidibus.
Yes.
Okay. All right. See, I like that, because that would allow us to wrap up Zodiac in 5.3. It's like, well, if we defeat Elidibus, and we've defeated the heart of Zodiac. And who knows, maybe the other Ascians didn't even know. So, you know what? Yeah. You know what? When he says that his allegiance and he answers to the will of the convocation is the ones that fucking summon Zodiac. He wouldn't be answering to himself. He'd be answering to them and their will at the time of summoning him. So I think that your theory is perfectly sound.
Does that mean Xeno shows up and eats Elidibus?
I think it's possible. I think that my thought when I saw Elidibus summoning all of these warriors of light from across time and space is that maybe he accidentally summons Xenos while he's doing that.
Hey, Xenos has the gift.
Yeah, he does.
Somehow.
He does. Maybe Xenos gets dragged along with that.
Somehow, just like, I've been seeing that since I was a kid. Whatever. I'm just like, I don't believe you. That's bullshit. I don't believe you.
I've been speculating that whoever the white robe, hopefully not Asahi, is leading Xenos into the belief that he can do to Zodiac what he can do to Shinryu, which of course he can't, as far as I'm concerned, and that it would be like a shortcut to Zodiac having like a new vessel and being able to come back. But who knows? Maybe Xenos gets summoned to Novrat by Elidibus, who is actually the heart of Zodiac, and then Xenos eats him.
I'm telling you, man, that's the Asahi is Vana. I refuse to accept any reality except that. It's literally the plot of Final Fantasy XII that's happening with Xenos. Everything you just described is literally the entire theme of Vana.
Mm-hmm.
It's like but the thing is, to be fair, it's more so the story of who we think we're the dissident who sided with no one. It's really more that story because it would make sense to want to destroy both Zodiac, because the whole theme of 12 is Venat wants to give glory back to man. Essentially, he wants man to take over mankind again as spite against the Ocuria. So making him eat Zodiac and destroy Hydaelyn is very in that regard. So,
but then that would be like a sort of suicidal complex by Venat, because Venat is the heart of Hydaelyn, and also like so contrary to Hydaelyn's modus operandi for the whole of history, where she refuses to act directly. She refuses to have more than like a subtle arbitrary influence on her chosen. So it would be such a weird like curveball if that wasn't the case.
I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for the curveball. I'm waiting, man.
I think like what you were saying is right, is that we've got this this first calamity, whatever the keening was underneath Amarot, right? And Zodiac was summoned to stop that, and then Hydaelyn was summoned to stop him. So if we lose Zodiac, then Hydaelyn has to go, and if they're both gone, then whatever this thing is comes back, wakes up, which many of us suspect is going to end up being like the presence under Silvertear Lake from 1.0, the original sort of, big threat that was being built up before the Meteor Arc. But that's why the sort of removal of Hydaelyn and Zodiac would be compelling, is that it gives us a reason to suddenly have to face this new ancient threat and onto the next big story arc.
Yeah, Lavos.
Yeah, Lavos. I mean, effectively, yeah. Like, whether or not it's literally
Sly,
Lavos,
you'll never get me
like
to not think it's Lavos. I see your disgust. I see you reaching for the mini fridge. Why can't it be Lavos?
Might as well be.
They're both Square Enix titles. What's the difference?
So you want again another Square Enix crossover?
I didn't say that. I said Lavos. We have Palace of the Dead is all like Tactics Ogre shit and whatnot.
Okay.
It's true.
All right. Go for it.
There you go.
You can have it.
Good.
Leave me out of it.
I'm taking it. Don't worry. I'll leave you out of it.
I think the ultimate conclusion.
I already got the giant robots fighting. Like, I'm on a roll here. Okay.
Oh my god.
I fucking knew it. I've been calling it since May.
For this.
Literally since the day we got the screenshot of the fucking robot, I've been calling a giant. I'm like, that's an Ironworks robot, and it's a giant robot.
So you were so proud of yourself, as if it wasn't something that was immediately like obvious and self-evident from the beginning.
Everyone
like no one
me.
was telling you that you were wrong.
Everyone doubted me.
No bullshit.
Sly doubted me.
I believe you. It was like really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, Sly, you're a doofus, all right? You're a big dummy, because it was pretty fucking obvious.
And I'm the super robot guy here, and I'm the one saying, well, no, I don't know.
Okay,
about
but
that.
Sly, is there a live recording of your reaction to seeing it? I need it in my life. Because you were live for the live letter, if I'm remembering. Is there a reaction of you?
I was, but like I don't think I had my cam on screen. I had the trailer full screen. But yeah, I was hyped. I was pretty fucking hyped.
Bro,
he deleted the VOD.
I called it.
He deleted the VOD.
I'm actually.
He had to.
Oh, I'm so happy. I'm really pumped. Like, a lot of people are talking about the end of Shadowbringers, but Bajda and the weapon series, the Sorrow of Warlit, I saw that shit. I was like, yo, I need to know what the hell is happening here. And that's kind of all that's left. And like, other than the Hero's Gauntlet, which is like 40% of the trailer, a few cutscenes that without more context are only so barely discernible. For all we know, like, I remember saying, I don't know, maybe he's stabbing Graha to force it. He's either stabbing him to force his hand, or he needs some of that blood to activate the crystal tower or something. I don't know. He needs something from him. Just walk up and fucking jab him in the fucking stomach for whatever reason.
Yeah.
The rest is all like weepon series and
that.
You hadn't thought of that? You
could
thought
literally
he's
be like taking a biopsy or whatever.
Yeah, he's got to get that blood so he can use the crystal tower, man. Maybe that's what he's doing there. Because that's before, like, you can see like his like cloak and everything starting to crystallize. They just can't show us much more. It's gonna be out of hand. Warriors of Light are attacking us, and we got to go to the Crysarium. It also looks like we're gonna fight a little bit near Xande's throne, if I didn't missee. A throne at the top, at the very least. It didn't look like any. It actually didn't even look like Xande's throne's room that we're used to, but it looked like a throne behind him. Or at least I thought it did.
Well, I mean, the trailer is frustrating for me in that we don't really know anything more about what's going to happen in the MSQ.
Nope.
That's why I need all.
I mean, we can see a few things, and like we've seen a few things in the Hero's Gauntlet. I mean, like little, not really central to the narrative, but you know, I saw a few things.
Yeah.
And someone brought it up too in chat, and I'm glad I wasn't the only one who saw it. Did y'all see Adramelech as one of the bosses?
Yes, Adrammelech was one of the bosses in Bajda, one of the Espers of 12, which is very in line with what's his face, Gabrant's kind of modus operandi. There's actually a couple things that it took me a few rewatches to notice. For one, Amarot rising out of the ocean by Yulmore, it looked like. That I was like, oh, that's Amarot. And then I was like, wait, no, it's above the ocean. It's not under the ocean anymore. That's a key one. There's also the Blade of Gunhildr, it looked like, wielding the resistance weapon that we have, who in that same room, we see a scene later with 4 DPS killing like as a giant bird creature with some ads in the back. So that, I don't know if that's part of the quest or that's part of Bajda itself, because I think they said there's no trial for Bajda this time. So seeing 4 DPS fighting a mob, it's hard to tell if that's a trailer shot or if that's just taking place in Bajda, but that looks like it's part of the final critical engagement to some degree. And it could be a Blade of Gunhildr, because didn't he say he wanted to use the Blades of Gunhildr against the Resistance, like their own thing? He wanted to actually use Gunhildr. We were expecting him to summon Gunhildr or Sura or something.
Yeah. Well, he was implying that he was, and you're talking about the Roth guy with the glowing eyes, right? That's what we're talking about.
Yes.
That dude's tempered.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If he's a Blade of Gunhildr, he's using one of the Blades of Gunhildr. He's using one of the weapons we saw locked away in Memoria.
Yeah, but that dude is 100% tempered, which means that Gunhildr's already been summoned somewhere.
Oh yeah. That makes sense. We've got a lot of things to indicate that there's a lot going on inside of that castrum. Because we see a lot.
Well, we've also got the contract 7 mount.
Yeah, that's
we have the contract 7 mount, which is what used Tartarus. We know that Tartarus was basically, its ultimate attack, and that's what destroyed the Clockwork City of Galg when Ramza Beolf and his crew fought against it, Noah's been working to restore it. And I think that we're getting it as a mount, probably because we're going to have to fight it again.
I don't know, because and I think people are going to be really mad if I'm right about this. The 1v1 critical engagement is also a mount And a lot of people are afraid that you have to win the engagement to get that mount.
Yeah, see, I was so sure that was a near mount.
But it's not. It's not the same.
A lot of us were.
Yeah.
A lot of us were.
You know what?
Yeah.
Maybe it is, because those are actually, there's a lot of Type 0 stuff popping up in this, and that thing is it's one of the generals. The general that you're 1v1ing is from Type 0 in that machine that you see in the 1v1. That's actually a Type 0 boss.
Yep.
And the Guard
Really?
Scorpion is actually not just a Guard Scorpion, it's a reskin of the Type 0 equivalent of the Guard Scorpion.
Yeah, I picked that up, but I don't know why I don't remember, because I smashed Type 0. I don't know why I don't remember the 1v1 from Type 0.
Well, it's not a 1v1 in Type 0, just who we're 1v1.
It's a boss.
Yeah, it's just a regular boss.
It's just a boss.
Yeah. General
I know that I don't
Banshee?
recognize it.
General, I always forget.
Bashtar.
Bashtar, that's the one. General Bashtar. I knew I was close. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just expecting a lot of Type 0. I mean, it makes sense. It was a very militarized Final Fantasy game. Like, it's literally kind of like the whole point of it. So I expect to see a lot more Type 0 related stuff. But I also expect to see more 12 stuff, like a Dremlick. There's a lot of Espers that are still unsummoned, in a sense.
Yep.
And then the question is that just Orosite again? Or is that an actual summoning of some kind? That's another question that we don't have answered. Because there's no doubt they had to have found Orosite when they went in there. They had to have. When they were ripping everything apart.
In Galg?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would think so. So the interesting thing about Return to Ivalice is that the only confirmed Orosite that we find are the Duma and the Otius. Oh, and the Duma is used to summon both Argath and Yasmat.
Yeah.
But all the other bosses in Rabanasta and in Galg are not actually confirmed to have been Espers, to have been like summoned by Orosite. We don't actually know for sure what they are, whether they're Espers or whether they're primals.
Okay, fair.
Which is infuriating for me right now, because I'm writing a video
you say that,
about
but I can't
Ivalice,
help
and
because why would Ultima creates Orosite? Didn't we cover that? And doesn't she resummon them?
she does. Yep, she does.
I guess technically it's still not confirmation, but
I mean, they're almost definitely Espers, but there is no mention of them. It's like it's mentioned in cutscenes afterwards that we fought two Espers, two Orosite monstrosities in the form of Argath and Yasmat, but the others aren't even meant. Like that, at no point do we talk about their ontology at all.
well, hopefully we'll be learning more, because a Dremlick is likely a creature created in the same vein. So at the very least, that's a hint that we'll get more information about it. No, I'm not in trouble. Mel's like, Aloha, what are you doing? So I'm like, you're real loud right now. You're real loud right now. Aloha. What are you doing? Oh, aloha. Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, as much as I'm really excited about Shadowbringers, Return to Ivalice's effect on the lore has been substantial and wide-reaching, and I guess with how little I've had of that with Nier so far, I need it somewhere else, and I'm really hoping. I'm so glad to see the Nier robots bombing Kamra. I'm like, finally, fucking do something that's not locked away behind this like chasm in a desert. Kick them the fuck out, and now their quests are going to be in Lakeland. So I want to see that. I want to see their impact on 14's world, and not just like, yeah, they're behind that door. Let's go. You'll get it. You got it. I know. I go off the rails on that one a little bit sometimes, but
You feeling like more enthusiastic about the next Yorha chapter now?
Slightly.
Because I'm still at the position where I'm like, I don't really care.
Oh, I have no
like,
faith
if,
that
if
other
there's
than...
something cool and if there's something like spiritual in it.
Absolutely not.
No. I still,
I mean,
I'm just glad to see them doing
I'm
something.
excited for the fights. I'm excited for the fights. I mean, I'm excited to see that has to offer, like, as far as a 24-man dungeon, but as far as like lore and impact on everything around us, I'm still the same as like where I was when Yorha was announced. I really wish they would have focused on, and I told Mike this, I really wish they would have focused on the Evilies. I really wish they would have went back and focused more on Evilies in that and Cabron rather than, something that actually slipped through the cracks.
Sorry. All right. Yeah. No, I mean, not even Evilies for me. Anything that actually has to do with 14. I don't mind collaborations. Monster Hunter's cool. Yokai Watch
it's in its own little world. It's its own thing. It doesn't have an impact. That's it. You just get a Rathalos mount. Yeah.
This is a whole expansion's worth of world building going to waste. So again, I'll wait till the end. I'll wait till the end before I say it's a waste.
And when we say this, we're not shitting on Nier. Nier is a good franchise. Nier Automata is a great game.
Yeah.
We're just shitting on the impact that it has on 14 and how it's actually playing a role in 14.
Yeah.
Where it really
He doesn't like Nier, so he's shitting on Nier. I'm not, and Sly's not.
I'm not shitting on...
No. Me and Sly are not. Ethys is. Okay. He is. We're not. What do you have to say?
Listen.
Okay.
Listen.
All right.
Nier is fine. Nier Automata is a action RPG. Okay, that does not redefine the genre, that does not constitute any kind of high art. It is a good, fun game. Okay, that is my position. I like it. It's good. No qualifiers. All right.
I was waiting for the butt.
Okay.
I was waiting on that big ass butt right there. But
the big ass butt is two beads. Okay. And it doesn't need to be spelled out, okay?
Well, that's what the B stands for. And this is 2B, though.
2 booty.
There is nothing subtle about the butts in Nier, okay? The butts speak for themselves. I don't need to spell out the butts for you, all right? Okay? It's a fine game. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Carry on.
I'm about to get some A-line Android stands out here.
Listen, I said that I hadn't slept for nearly 48 hours. I'm not putting up with shit today, all right?
All right. Okay. That's fine.
Fair is fair.
Other than that, there's one last thing before we go into patch notes in particular. I think we kind of already know who Sapphire Weapon's based off of. I think it's made pretty apparent on in the trailer, unless I'm reading too deeply. Regula appears to be not only relegated to someone we fight in the first boss of a dungeon and solo instance, but his helmet sure as hell is on the top of that fucking Sapphire Weapon, unless I'm just really seeing things there. So we are presuming he is the oversoul of Sapphire Weapon. And he's also in a cutscene.
Yeah.
I need to get some input. When does that cutscene take place? Because it's clearly well after the children have already aged to some degree. He's supposed to be gone, so unless his sister killed his entire family and took over, then I'm wondering at what point what's-her-face is talking to him. Because I need to know, because he's in that one cutscene. I'm like, what's going on here?
Are you talking about the shot where we see like through a door of a castrum and he's like holding his arms up? Or...
Yeah.
Was that him or was that Nail?
I had a hard time telling because it fade. Their helmets are kind of similar, but
it's pretty faded.
Yeah, but the way they stand is very Nail-esque. It's very Nail-esque. That is not like a regular.
I didn't go back and go through that frame by frame because as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, that's Nail. You keep talking.
Okay. The helmet, that's the problem though. The helmet is not apparently Regula, but because the other helmet looks so much like Regula, it makes me go back and see him there. But it doesn't make any sense. That scene, the thing is, that scene doesn't make any sense if it's Regula. But who it actually is another story. She's old enough to the point. It's probably while Gaius is missing between the end of the Praetorium and now. That's probably when that scene's. That would be my first guess. But the scene doesn't have like echo flashback style static, which also tells me maybe it's just a scene that's happening in the current moment because she looks the same outfit, same age. Then who the fuck is it? That's what I need to know. Because if it's Nail, it kind of makes sense. Ruby Weapon had Nail's theme, but that also looks too current to be Nail.
It's Nail.
It's
Nail. It's definitely Nail.
It's just so weird that they've gone. Where does that even? What? It just doesn't look like a flashback is the problem. It doesn't have any of the staple things that we associate with flashbacks in the game. It could be the current Legatus of the Seventh. Maybe they just dress as the
That's
fucking
what I was
Nail
thinking
now.
too. That's what I was thinking too. Like, unless Regular
maybe.
Successor.
Here's what happened. Okay, Nail died. And Eula killed the rest of the family. Anyone who knew him took the mantle. Now Eula's them. Eula's dead now, all right? But now we found out that Eula had a son. And now Eula's son killed everyone else that knew. And now that's Eula's son. And that's why the first one was Nail. All right, figured it out. Good. That's it. We're done.
Nah.
That's a hell of a leap.
Well, you're talking to the guy who said Your Hot Dark Apocalypse was actually Ida. So think about that for a second. I'm just saying.
I think it's Nail. Pretty sure it's Nail.
Okay. All right.
We'll see. Mm-hmm. I'm curious now. I'll wait. I don't believe anything anymore. That's it. I don't know what to believe anymore, except that clearly Sapphire Weapon is Regula's Oversoul. He cannot be anything but a fucking solo instance boss. He's not allowed. Regula, that's it. You're done. You're the first boss of a dungeon. You get to be a solo instance boss. Now you're another solo instance boss. That's it. You're done. Sapphire Weapon, you're a meme. As always, giant robot fight. Good.
They really did him dirty, didn't they?
They really did. But he gets done dirty.
They're always going to do him dirty.
Yeah.
I feel like they're always going to do him dirty.
They do generally.
He's been relegated.
We're going to learn more about.
Yeah, he's been relegated to meme status. Here's the thing: he's based on General Leo and 6 more so than anything else. And General Leo gets shit on, and he's just like, "Oh, here we're in the middle of a mission." And Kefka's like, "Well, I'm going to kill you now." So, see ya. All right.
As the cherry on top, do we get to lop off its head?
Fucking better. I hope that the cannon blast is us blasting its head off. That's what I'm hoping. It's like they've already given us all the tools we need to literally blast his head off. It has to be. I won't accept anything that isn't this. Okay? That's it. I just want to see what oversold Sapphire Weapon does to us in a giant robot. Okay.
Not a hell of a lot, I dare say.
I'm ready for it. All right. I don't care if it's going to be a joke. I'm ready for it. Okay. So that covers somewhat of a discussion about the trailer on its own without anything else.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to the live letter proper, and we're already like an hour
I will
through.
say that the live letter proper is one topic that shines above all else, and then the rest is kind of just like filler that like you could kind of talk about because like. There's some comments in there. So like it starts with the trailer, obviously. So we have been talking about the live letter, Yoshifia is a shirt, that costs $200 for some reason that just says lies and truth.
There's something on the back, apparently.
That doesn't explain it being $200. Okay,
I don't.
Like, is there like gold bars on the back?
Who knows?
That's all. And
he shaved.
Yes, and he shaved the mustache off. Mustache was gone for the live letter. We got to see their setup for their socially distanced in-office setup for live letters, with them sitting quite far apart. I like how he compliments people who figured out that it was a giant robot battle. Thank you. That was great.
Yeah.
He's like, wow, I don't know how they figured
You're
that out.
really happy about that.
It's in the name. New Alliance raid, they said they'll give us a peek later. We're going to fly in a realm. Like, the entire first 20 minutes is literally just a recap with, like, a detail here or there. They didn't even show Unreal Trials. Job adjustments, we'll talk about later. New feast season. There won't be any major updates to PvP. There'll just be a few, like, casual updates to it, you know? New titles and achievements for Ishgard.
Wait. I know we don't really talk about PvP, but...
So let's not.
Oh, fuck.
What do you want to say?
Fine.
What do you want to say, Sly? What do you want to say?
What if in the future they add the Hero's Gauntlet as a map?
The Hero's Gauntlet as a mount? You mean the dude with...
A map.
Oh, a map. Oh, no, they won't. They won't, because everything's run through everything. Well, I mean, even if it's rival wings, it's all run through like the grand companies and stuff. So it's like even all that is just like they're not gonna. Let's go to the first. No, I don't think they will,
because they don't have PvP on the first. Okay. No,
they're kind of been busy for the last 100 years. Fighting each other is the last thing they're thinking about, even as an exercise drill. They're like, yeah, we've had some problems as of late. I don't know that this is really gonna help us that much.
Yeah, Nutsy can run it.
Yeah, Clan Nutsy can run it. We're gonna fight over your nuts. Everyone, please place your bets on your nuts on the table.
Here we go.
You started it. I was not going to go anywhere near
Everyone place you heard him, everyone. Place your nuts on the table.
You just took it
Come
like...
on.
Everyone, put your nuts on the table. Good luck. All right. They went over the fact that they're adding like poetics vendors to the other main city towns, fashion accessories. They showed off the sticker mode they talked about, which will be fun for screenshots, but we can't really... What's there to discuss about that? Him putting complete on it like 60 times for whatever reason. Just to show that you could. It was the most interesting part of the entire thing until I see the G poses on Twitter. I did like this though. So he addressed a comment in the Nico chat that was like, if you can do this, you can make more raid content. And he's like, he's like, the battle team doesn't work on stickers. You understand that, right? They're not just like, well, ultimate or stickers.
Or fucking koi.
The UI team would be would be in charge of
fucking
that.
koi. Please.
Then they showed off the Dadgar shirt, but they showed it actually on the Lalfell before we saw the screenshot later. They showed off the Allagan Melon, which I'm assuming is Moonfire Fair, because it's literally the day after 5.3. Oh, so the melon is actually the translation is Allagan Melon. The watermelon that like...
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what about it is Allagan?
Well, it's alive, clearly.
It's... They took... I'm trying to lure this up. I'm trying to lure this up for you. They took
Is it like those crazy like PC builds where like you build inside a fish tank or something, but like an Allagan node?
Yeah, they're doing like a custom Dalamud.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
And they they did a test first.
Yeah, the high school science project where they have to make the replicas of the astronomy of the solar system.
And they
needed a melon for Dalamud.
Yeah, so it's a Dalamelon.
Yeah, Dalamelon.
Oh, okay.
I can get Dalamelons at the store pretty well. Yeah. They're on sale. So, all right. To think that he gets mad at me for these things too. If I said that, I can already see what Sly's face would be like. But he said it.
I'd be fine with it.
No, you wouldn't.
I'd be fine with that.
I guarantee you would not. I guarantee you, if I said Dollar Melon before you, the look on your face would be one of disgust. I know this.
You're the one who can't accept shard bucks.
Again, if I was the one to say it, if I was the one who came up with it, you would hate it so much.
But I said it before. Okay.
That's my point.
All right.
They showed off the 2 new mounts. We talked about the mounts earlier. One being the 1v1, the Bashchar mount. The other one being the Construct 7. They didn't show us the Dwarven mount. I'm assuming it's a tank. I think it's a safe enough assumption that it's a tank. Now, the flying version of it is a whole nother story, but I could still imagine that it's a tank. They flew through Costa del Sol. They flew through Western Thanalin a bit. They just said you can't land in a few places. And then they talked about A Realm Reborn trimming down. They talked a little bit about their ideology of the A Realm Reborn quests. And they even said they're adding a special teleport ticket to get back to the Waking Sands.
Good.
You want to talk about the lore behind that at this?
Well, they can't put an Aetheryte there. They can't put an Aetheryte there because it would be like law breaking to put an Aetheryte.
What
there.
is the lore behind the Grand Company teleport tickets, though? Because we have teleport tickets that take us directly to the Grand Company, so I'd assume that they're similar.
No idea. I think the lore behind them is basically just like you don't have to pay, and it's just implying that you took the Ethernet within the city to get straight there. That's basically the implication.
Okay.
But yeah, for Waking Sands, like Lolorito specifically sort of like barred an Aetheryte from being built out there because he like wanted to be able to keep the Scions under the thumb.
But now I have tickets. They're going to be like, yeah, you ever wonder why we don't have an Aetheryte here? And they'll be like, I've got this ticket. Where are you guys' tickets? What are you guys doing?
Did the ticket say pray return?
There's 150% going to be pray return jokes on the flavor text of the ticket. 150%.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Then they talked about the free trial upgrade, which is a pretty major discussion to have.
That is huge. Oh my God. Wow. So you get not only all of A Realm Reborn, you get Heavensward 2. That's fucking huge. You get 2 fucking expansions
in your free trial.
You get 2 whole ass games that we had to pay for.
And Aura. And up to level 60. And to the end, specifically, not just Heavensward, to the end of Heavensward. The post-story patches as well. Though I'm going to be honest with anyone watching this. If you're thinking about doing the free trial, all that EXP from your 3.01 quests to your 3.56 quests will go to fucking waste. So you may want to make a decision about buying it before you start doing those. Just as a little bit heads up. Just want to say that. On top of that, you can play the jobs that come with Heavensward, obviously. And basically all the features that come with Heavensward. There's been some discussion about, kind of along the lines of what you said, Sly, where people are like, that's too much.
I hear that. And from a business perspective, it's a lot. It's a lot. And he even said it's a lot, but in comparison, he's looking at Yoshi P is looking at retention. And to be honest, from level 35, like being able to do up to level 35, what it gains some retention, but for a lot of people, like ARR up to level 35, nothing. When they see like all the feels, all the story of Heavensward, which is again still one of the best expansions to this date, that's going to have a more lasting effect and will hold more people over and will, bring more people in. After they complete that story, they're going to want more. And then they're going to be disappointed by Stormblood. But, once they get Shadowbringers, that shit's going to be fucking lit, fam.
The instant shit on Stormblood. You mean they're not going to like hearing, what is it? Storm of blood. So they're not going to get hype when they hear that shit? Come on now. I still get hype hearing it. I like Stormblood.
Ethys, what are you thinking? How do you feel about it?
I am really, really worried that we're going to see a resurgence of people thinking that this is the inevitable slide towards free-to-play.
Oh, that's already
already
happened. That's already. I've already seen that shit. So a previous host, my co-host before State of the Realm, Mr. Byrne.
Yeah, I saw that.
Occasionally comes on. Addressed that in a video that he made for MMO Bomb. How there's a lot of headlines that are now specifically just saying, instead of saying the free trial is extended, they're just saying is free to play up to this level. Is essentially
and that's
the
bad.
majority.
And that's bad wording on their part.
It's accurate. It is free to play up to that level, but that's a very different implication than a free trial because there's a lot of shit that you can't do in a free trial, like talk to most people. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's terrible wording.
It's a very clickbaity title, but you gotta push engagements, I guess. That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about having to put up with those conversations every freaking day for the next 6 months.
It's why we're here. We're here to steer them away from it.
Yeah, totally. So the first season of Star Trek TNG sucks. It sucks shit. It's not good.
Wow.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You have to tell people that they have to watch season 2 and then it starts to pick up, right? Because they haven't really gotten to their stride yet. They're doing an entirely new thing that is based on an old thing that they're trying to do differently, but still make those people happy somehow. And the writers and the cast and everything didn't really hit its stride until halfway through season 2, by which of course I mean Heaven's Ward. Level 35 is 2 episodes into the first season of Star Trek TNG, and it fucking sucks.
You keep saying
and
that.
It is not a fair representation of the game, and it is demonstrably not hooking people. The story hooks in particular. I love ARR. I love the posts, the post 2.0 ARR MSQ, but I love it because of the stuff that it sets up. And I love it because once the game hooks you and the narrative hooks you, you want to go back and see where those threads were first constructed.
You like it in hindsight, basically.
Yeah, exactly, yes. But you don't get the big hook until the Bloody Banquet. I think that letting people play up until the end of ARR at the very, very least makes sense. And then Yoshida basically just said that he didn't want to leave people on that kind of cliffhanger. And I understand that.
Yeah, you've set the tone and now you have to show them where it actually goes. And then they'll be like, well, now I got to keep going. I have to. Because now you have to remember, now it ends at sloppy.
Exactly. It ends with Sloppy and with Omega the Shinryu.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a cliffhanger. That is a hell of a cliffhanger. First of all, how dare you shit on Gene Roddenberry? How fucking dare you?
He shit on the writing, not the person.
I'm not shitting on Gene Roddenberry, dude. I love Star Trek. I love TNG so much. I adore that show. But the first season of TNG is dog shit.
It's not perfect, but it ain't complete dog shit. We can talk about this post stream. You can talk about this post show, but god damn, you just completely fucking shitted on TNG first season. My god. let's
Well,
move on.
you know.
Oh,
All right. But you understand. You understand my point. You understand the analogy.
Yeah, I understand
right?
your point. I understand.
So it's going to be a lot of content. Reminder of things you can't do on the free trial. Lots of talking, like say, shout, and tell. No market board, no trading, no making a party. You can join a party, but you can't make one. Can't be the party leader. You can only go, I think you still can only do the first 10 floors in Deep Dungeon. I'm pretty sure that's still a stipulation in there. We don't know how Ishgard Restoration is going to work in, because you will reach the point you unlock it, but they've made no further comment. And finally, we don't actually know what the starter edition is even for anymore, other than those features. We don't know if the starter edition is going to be updated to include Stormblood, or if it's literally just going to unlock the basic features. No free companies, yeah. So for anyone worried about RMT taking this and riding with it, they can't do anything. An RMT will have to buy the game at some point. What it will mean is RMT can maybe get to 60 before they buy the game and get banned. That's it. That's the closest you're going to get to that.
It just means that they can spam you in Ishgard as well.
Yep.
Yeah, that's about it. So I think this is great, and I can't wait to see the flood of sprouts and the terrible duty finders that are perfectly acceptable because it's full of sprouts. And it's nothing
health and
but
longevity
fun.
of the game. It's going to be really good.
Yeah, it's the perfect marketing with the A Realm Reborn rework, especially. It's like it's all in tandem. They're like, okay, we're fixing this shit now. Here you go.
Yes, sir.
Again, this
Absolutely.
is why all of the intermediate needs to be a thing.
I don't think this is the reason, but there are reasons. It's a different discussion altogether.
It's part of the reason. If they're doing this, it's part of the reason. Yeah.
All those sprouts getting their batter.
Discussion that we're going to have to be having again very soon.
Yes, we will. Now, the next thing they moved on to was job adjustments. Now, I'm looking through the unofficial translations, and I have to kind of scroll all the way down to get to the official ones, but we've got a few interesting tidbits. I'm going to kind of start backwards. Something that was missed, apparently, in the unofficial translations the first time is Warrior is actually getting a Storm's Eye adjustment, ease of keeping the Storm's Eye buff up, which has been a long time request for Warriors. Very long time request for Warriors. That was missed in the initial translation, but they have gone back and they have added it and they have edited it in. Warrior will get a slight buff. It'll be easier to keep your Storm's Eye buff up. That is all Yoshi P said in like 2 sentences.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why are you making that face, Ethys?
Just because I didn't hear that the first time, and I don't really play enough Warrior to really understand the need for it.
Okay. Because some people may see that and be like, does he disagree? Because I will kick him in the nuts. I can already tell. I can see the people frothing. I can see it.
No, I don't disagree. I just didn't anticipate it. That's all.
Long time request from hardcore Warrior players, but far from all that they want. Very far from all that they want.
Okay.
Summoner, Tri Disasters getting nerfed in some way. They didn't comment much more than that. No rotational changes, though. They say. But the people who do math may disagree. You never know with the people who... But the way Tri Disasters worked, I can't see it really changing much of anything. Astro, honestly, kind of low-key the most important thing they talked about, even though there's something bigger with Monk. They're finally addressing Astro's entire MP management as a healer. Systemically changing it. They're going to add MP recovery to something, whether it be card use or another skill, we don't know. They're going to be removing the reduced MP cost aspect of light speed and just moving that effect to other actions, whatever that actually ends up meaning. And sleeve draw is going to be revamped, which if I had to take a guess as a non-Astro player, I guess it would pull a different seal every time. So using it guarantees a full 3 seal, whatever the skill is called. That would be my guess. There's no indication that that's actually what they're doing. I've seen a lot of Astros ask for way less RNG in their opener and a smoother opener altogether. So.
All right. I Get to the good shit.
Bard, DPS increase. That's it. They just said Bard, DPS increase.
Yeah. Get to the good shit.
Monk.
Hey.
So this is twofold.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing is 5.3. Form shift will have Oppo removed, which means you only have to press it twice to keep a Grease Lightning stack or to get to Coral. So way less way less inactive time management of the resource and way less pre-fight preparation. Perfect Balance will have its cooldown reduced, which I wonder how that's going to affect some stuff right now in the immediate time. But honestly, it's all kind of moot because in 5.4, Monk is getting a ninja level rework.
And here's where I'm wondering how you're feeling. Does it really need this level of rework?
Yes.
Okay. Shoot. Why?
So first, let me give you what they're changing, and I'll explain why as somebody who has wanted to play Monk in every raid tier until Shadowbringers. And I've only gotten to play it through Stormblood. They're going to be converting Grease Lightning into a trait. Now, to be clear, Grease Lightning as a trait now just gives you more stacks at certain levels. And eventually, with Riddle of Wind, you get the 4th stack. What they seem to be implying is that Grease Lightning will just be worked into a passive element of the job and not the core aspect that the entire job must be designed around. This will cause a major revamp of 5.4. Something I'm surprised they're doing it so late in the expansion when they could say they're doing that in 6.0. They specifically call it a ninja level rework in regards to the scope of it, which we had our ninja rework. It was widely accepted. Some people found it a little bit more boring because of the slowed pace, because of the GCD mudras, but it was overall received fairly well. The job performs fairly well. Grease Lightning, as they put it, does not feel right, nor does it match current battle content. The entire job has been hamstringed around Grease Lightning since its inception. Now, Monk hit a stride at a few different points, but as time has gone on, the idea of 3 forms generate Grease Lightning, 3 forms generate Grease Lightning has been everything the job has been focused around forever. It has hamstringed their creativity with the job. It is why we so often see them get bashed for the job's new abilities, whether they be niche or outright useless. And by removing Grease Lightning, they've now opened every skill that's ever been problematic up to a rework that leads to an overall better gameplay experience. And Dancer, it's been fun, but if this is good, won't be a ranged boy for much longer. The question is, what is the alternative? And that we don't know yet. And is it actually good? Which we also don't know yet. Yeah. But this essentially, if done correct, means no more useless Tornado Kick. Hopefully no more useless Anatman. And it means Anatman honestly has to be completely like Anatman cannot even remotely be the same skill as it is right now. It can't be. Tornado Kick also can't be. Everything pretty much can't be.
So you think Anatman will get removed altogether?
No, I think it'll have a completely different. I think it'll still be a downtime skill primarily. I don't think they'll rework it to being something you actually use actively outside of uptime, which is still kind of lame, but I play Dancer. I'm used to that with improv, kind of. But it's a whole new Monk. All right? And I'm ready for it. It needed to happen. I kind of expected them to do it in 6.0. And there's some other jobs they'll have to do this exact same revisit with as we go further in. I think Black Mage after 5.0 becomes questionable. What do they do from this point? There's not much room for that job to go up from now.
What I'm trying to remember, what patch was the Ninja rework?
Was it 5.1 or 5.2? It's honestly, it's been so long since 5.2, I honestly can't remember. 5.1.
I'm pretty sure it was 5.1.
Yeah, okay. 5.1.
Yeah. Are y'all a fan of reworks happening on raid patches?
No. I think they should happen in odd-numbered patches.
Okay. I'm glad we agree there. So, again, why are they planning this rework?
I think that's tough. I think it's kind of tough because you design the fights and balance the fights around the current state of each of the jobs, right? And when you rebalance the jobs, you kind of put that out of whack. And I mean, the obvious answer to that is like, well, in the odd numbered patches, like, who cares? What does it matter? Like, it really, really doesn't matter if you break the fights at that point. But I don't know. I feel like the sweet spot would be to do it like a couple of weeks before a new raid patch, so that like people that play the job have enough time to like get their heads around and adjust to it,
right,
without it having like a huge kind of like fight breaking potentially impact on the current raid tier.
Well, we don't actually know how much they consider, because I think they have a great deal of confidence that they're high-level players. Well, this will not in any way deter them from taking it in day one. It will. I can guarantee you it will, but I think they have the confidence in their higher-tier players that if they make an adjustment, it probably will. They will go in and by the end of day one, still be competent enough to do the entire raid tier on it. So I don't think they're even thinking about it. I think Raiders are thinking about it. I don't think they're thinking about it. They have a lot more confidence in their player base than they used to, and I think this is indicative of that. That being said, it does bring us back to the discussion of not delaying Savage 2 weeks out on a normal patch and forcing you to choose between Savage and everything else that comes out on a patch day. So
with something like this, delay Savage. With something like this only, like under normal circumstances, I would be fine with Savage being on day one. But if they're doing something this drastic, why wouldn't you? Like, give people time.
I think it should just be a normal thing all the time. I don't see a reason to not delay Savage 2 weeks. I don't.
Because we're impatient fucking bastards and we want our content now.
I'm not. You know what I'm impatient about? Needing to wait 3 or 4 days to beat the fight so I can actually go do the fucking main story. That's what I'm impatient about. I don't care if it's for a rework or not. I don't mind being hamstringed to content for days on end, 12, 16-hour days. I hate having to choose between Savage and everything else I like in the game.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Fair.
And I know a lot of other hardcore raiders who are not just raiding and that's it. That they want to watch the cut. They skip all the cutscenes on their main and they watch them all on their alt. Because that's the only way they can reasonably stay on schedule for hardcore prog and things like that. So, I would just prefer that.
Okay.
Any sort of delay, even 1 week, like Chad said. I would take a 1 week delay. I would. Because I have to skip the Extreme Primal, sort of. Ruby Weapon was... That's a debate. That's a whole nother debate about the whole Ruby Weapon and Shiva
We're talking
thing.
Ruby Weapon
here.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother debate when it comes to like needing the Ruby Weapon for Shiva, like people who thought you did when people beat it with that. That's a whole nother thing that happened that I think won't happen again in regards to people's consideration for performance. But having to essentially invalidate every other content for 3-4 days just doesn't feel good.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, it's at best, months and months in between each patch, and the fact that it comes around and you feel like you have to either blast through it as quickly as possible, or that you have to like ignore it to, smash your head against a raid fight for days. It's stupid.
I didn't even care about this. Didn't Ultimate and Ishgard come out the same day?
I believe they did. That's why you couldn't do anything about Restoration, because you were doing prog.
That's fucked.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That's fucked. Yeah. If they do that, and if they do that in 5.5, if they're on the same day, that's essentially taking a group of people that cannot compete for the title. I don't think anyone's going to give a fuck by then, but I'm saying that that's kind of a fucked concept as well. So, there's some
they shouldn't be releasing anything else at the same time.
Right, and it's selfish because, let's be honest, the number of people doing one thing is much, much smaller than the number of people doing the other thing. But you're taking the choice of something that takes massive, massive commitment versus something that you could casually enjoy should be so differentiated. But then if you have two things that are hardcore, like Ishgard ranking, which is now the new fear, because we didn't have Ishgard ranking for that one. We will have Ishgard ranking going forward until the end of, probably until 5.5x's whatever thing. That's not good. That's not good. It also means things like day one Savage people have to like rush to get the crafted stuff done and melt. Like there's so much that has to be rushed that no one can really enjoy. Anyone who wants to be a multi-purpose like player of the game, you're fucked. The number of people who just raid is so small. What the fuck was that? It was so small. It's like an alien. It's so small that like they can fucking wait a week or two. All right.
Yeah.
It was a UFO. Yeah, it was fucking scary. That's a whole nother discussion that we could continue, but we should continue on instead. I gotta find where it was even after the job adjustments. Oh, I think it was Ishgard after the job adjustments, which I don't have much input. It's the same thing again. The only thing that's kind of interesting to talk about is whether or not we should. Oh no, then they showed Nier. Nier was the next thing, but there's not much to say about that. They showed off outfits, Dadgar.
Dadgar.
They showed all the they showed all of the they showed all the Nier
Dadgar is
stuff.
gonna make some fucking amazing ribs.
They showed all the Nier stuff.
He's gonna put his foot in those fucking ribs, man.
They showed off all the Nier stuff. They're like, look at this Nier outfit. I'm like, cool, long cloak with a thing and a cape and a thing over his head. Oh, look, another cloak and a thing over their face. Oh, look, another cloak and their thing over their face. Oh, look, this guy doesn't have a sleeve. Oh, this Lalafel's got an umbrella. Oh, wow. Then they showed the fucking Dadgar, and I'm like, yo!
Dadgar is gonna get down on the grill. I'm telling you right now, like, please look forward to it. Hi.
When you can completely usurp an entire 24-man's gear design with a fucking Hawaiian shirt and khakis, you know your priorities are set straight.
I wasn't sure that we weren't looking at the gears from the last one. I was like, this is just a copied factory stuff. Like,
yeah. I was not in any way excited about any of all the gear from the Nier 20. It was really fucking boring. It's like generic, like edgy anime shit, and I'm like, all right. But it's, you know what it is not? It is not a Hawaiian shirt and khakis.
It is not.
No.
And then Mom Kote like yelling at Dadgar to like flip the burgers because they're getting burnt. And,
yeah. I'm assuming Dadgar grilled the
Dadgar,
burger.
like he knows, all right?
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
Dadgar Krogan, son.
Yeah, just like lay off, like he's the grill master. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
If they were burnt, he'd be on it. Mom Kote, jeez.
Yeah. What if the Hawaiian shirt is from the 24 man?
Constantly, man.
Oh my god.
The Hawaiian shirt's almost definitely Moonfire Fair also. They showed it off along with the Allegan Melon in Costa del Sol. It's almost certain that that's also Moonfire Fair.
I cannot wait to actually find that shirt and order it.
Yeah. With the dance also, with the hula dance that they did also at one point. That's a whole nother thing. Yeah, dude, nobody even gives a shit about the Nier 24-man glam. Nobody cares. Nobody cares anymore. You've invalidated it as soon as you showed the shirt and khakis. Nobody cares anymore. Dead content on arrival. Just get me the shirt and khakis. A day later. Then they showed off the Dwarven area. They confirmed that's where the tank cutscene they clipped was from. And that it's in Lakeland because they ran out of memory in Calusia. So they had to create a reason with Yorha to get them over here. Which implies that wouldn't you have to have done Yorha's stuff in order to unlock this to some degree?
I mean, yeah, but we have stuff that
that's what I was thinking as well.
We have stuff that we have to do,
it's so
Crystal
weird.
Tower and everything for right now. So
Yeah.
Right. Like it's so weird. Like Heaven's Ward split like everything into side content. It was like Alexander has no relation to the MSQ. The Warring Triad has no relation to the MSQ because like people were complaining about in ARR everything being so interconnected that like it like gated people from story. And they've been backpedaling on that so hard, Shadowbringers. And like I'm all for it. Like I'm right here for it. I think it's great.
You know what I think it is?
I think everything should be compulsory.
I think everyone was so sick of like the Realm Reborn like length, you know, like the volume of quests versus the quality of the quest, that they're like, please stop fucking combining all this shit. And now they fixed it and they're like, yeah, our game's actually pretty good, so let's like tie some shit together, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is, in ARR, it wasn't a problem with the content, it was a problem with the writing. It was a problem with the fact that the MSQ was so like fragmented between these different plot lines, right? That it lacked sort of like focus and cohesion. We're constantly like having to go off on random tangents, like deal with primals and shit. And the feedback was that, you know, this is confusing and chaotic, and like, can we please like, you know, split these into like more focused narratives? And they mistook that criticism of the storytelling with criticism of the content. And I think now they've got their storytelling in Shadowbringers in a place where they're really, and they're like, you know what? We can make this compulsory, we can make that compulsory, because they're all like stories and they're going to be freaking awesome and people are going to want to do them.
Yes. And I'm glad to see it. Because I was definitely, the way that they did everything in A Realm Reborn, I was definitely kind of happy with Heavensward splitting everything off. Like Warring Triad being one thing and not just being like a ham-fisted primal every patch, you know, which is essentially what A Realm Reborn came down to. I mean, like, that's part of the main story. Like, every main story patch, they're like, we have to beat a primal. And then they'd be like, but the real story is still happening, guys. Yeah. Don't worry. So in Heavensward, when they started doing that with the Triad, where they're like, you know, oh, here's the Triad over there. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I just realized that I just kind of contradicted myself.
Okay.
In the way that we've been talking about the Nier story.
Okay.
Okay.
So good, everyone will want to do it.
I mean, I'm going to do it because I want it to be interconnected. But, you know. At the you know what? At the same time, I just don't care about it. So, you know, I'll just hope it's good by the end, and then please don't ever do anything like it again. Okay.
Yeah.
The next part is all the crafting and gathering stuff. I had to backpedal a bit. Cool features, but again, just, you know, not my thing. You know, Trial Synthesis is great. Being able to practice without actually using materials, great tool.
Agreed.
Reverse searching recipes by the materials, long overdue.
Fucking amazing. Thank God.
Long overdue. They made us do math. The desynthesis things, whatever. I'm glad they chose to destroy Mamora of all things. I wish he'd finished the whole stack because I really wanted to see them all die. But, you know.
And then him cap out on decent points, like at like what
50?
50, 45?
50, yeah, 55 or something like that,
yeah.
They also showed the calculating how much materials you need to actually do like a certain number of crafts. And it being smart.
Again, these are really good quality of life changes.
Yes. And some people argue that like people already use Teamcraft for this website that has a lot of these functions, and that's great. There's nothing. This still doesn't even invalidate Teamcraft because Teamcraft is a great way to compile all that information that is available. But people should be able to play the game and figure things out on their own before they go onto the internet to search for answers for anything they're not sure on. This at least allows people, even if they're going to screw up and do unoptimal whatever, there's still a level of player encouraged discovery before the acquisition of more knowledge. It also lets people just figure things out in game, even if they are someone who's high level, without immediately resorting to, fuck that, where's my spreadsheets? Bam, bam, bam. We'll still have the spreadsheets, guys, don't worry. Trust me.
Yeah.
That's not going
For those who want to use them, yeah, they'll still be there.
They showed off a few minions. One is the dungeon boss that my Twitter feed had way too much time with. Yeah. The boss.
Wait, Ethys, you haven't seen the fan art? Please say you have.
No, I told you I've been in transit for the last basically since the live letter.
Oh my god! Oh boy! Oh boy!
Oh yeah,
I don't even know what to tell you to. I don't even know what to tell you to search for.
I'm gonna break the YouTube thing, Skylar, in my Twitch chat. Do not link any of it at all. I will remove you. Okay. Now that's
don't at me, bro.
But if you want to, you can just direct message Sly the Fox on Twitter, and that'll be okay.
Oh fuck. All right. Okay. Mm-hmm.
They reiterated that they're doing Ishgard ranking again, and there's going to be whole new items. Don't save anything from the last time; it won't be of use to you. But there's still one thing they're undecided on: whether or not they actually go through with using new titles. Because originally they said when you completed,
we had this.
They originally said when you completed it, you'd never need to compete again. That was kind of one of the selling points of it originally: is work hard, get it, and you're done. You don't need to compete for these titles a second time.
But
they kind of want to do new titles. They also kind of want to do new titles for a new phase. And almost, I don't think I've spoken to a single person who scored in the top 12 or top 100 to get the titles that has any consideration of wanting new titles. They're like, no, fuck you, don't do it. I don't want to do it again. And you know what? Some of them are even like, you know what? Even if they do new titles, I'm not fucking doing it again. I don't like that title as much. My title's better. Fuck you and your new titles. I don't want it. They can have them. I knew people who 16 hours a day for 10 days did it, and then the last day fell below 12th place and hated their lives. Okay?
Oh, no. Don't do that.
Not like this.
Yeah.
Not like this.
Don't anyone do that, please. It's a fucking title in a video game. Come on, dude.
My chat is literally full of did it once, never again. That's the running theme here. No, there's no capitalism ho here. There's no capitalism to be had at all. Just pain.
Mm.
So they're undecided. They're gonna read feedback before they actually release the content to see if they should do a new title or not. And I have a feeling we will not be getting new titles. So good luck to the new people competing. Good fucking luck. I do wonder how long this restoration phase is going to take. Because after those 10 days were up, the restoration phases just kind of came to a halt for a lot of servers. It took a long time before we saw all the restorations finish. There's nothing wrong with that. But it went from super active to completely dead and people failing fates. Balmung failed one of the crafting fates because nobody was doing it. I think it was also like really early in the morning. But it's like, I would never expect Balmung to fail one of those crafting fates because they didn't have enough people around. Ever. So, I don't know if how long you expect this one to be. Nothing? Don't care, huh? That's how much we don't care about crafting. All right, fuck it. Moving on.
No.
See you later.
Not saying we don't care. I don't care about placement. I mean, I don't care about.
No, I don't care.
But I mean, the quests after people were done are great. The quests after everyone finished were really good, but it took people months to find out.
Oh my god, Ethys is just like I just don't care.
So if you don't care about the crafting, you probably at least care about the follow-up quests that came because they were. If you have not done
totally.
them,
absolutely 100%.
And that'll mean
I care about the quality of life stuff. That's great, and I care about like the story and lore that we get from the Ishgard restoration. But like, I don't really care if we get it in like 2 weeks or a month or whatever. It's like it's fine. I can wait.
No, you can't.
I can though. Like I really can. We've been waiting for more Ishgard lore for like 5 years.
People just want their houses, man. That's all. They just want to finish the shit and get their houses. By the way, I can't wait for all the people who worked on those houses to not get one. Anyway, moving on.
Oh.
You've got a personal stake in nothing. Anyway.
My God. Oh, damn near made me spit my beer. Fuck.
It's gonna fucking happen. I can't wait for those forum posts. I was part of every crafting fate on my server, and I didn't get a house.
Yeah,
it's gonna fucking happen.
100%.
Wow.
Oh man, it's like, wait, there was houses at the end of this? Really? Oh, okay, that's interesting. All right, Bajja, next on the list. Wow. I was very surprised at everything we learned here.
Same. Fuck. Give me 1 second.
That's fine. That's
BRB.
fine. Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. He's gonna take his headset off too. So while he's gone, I'll keep the conversation. Nah, fuck. We already did all the lore conversation. Shit. All right. So I'll get your first take on this. Give me an overview before he comes back. Then we'll go into specifics. I want to wait till we're all here.
An overview on like what's happening.
Your reception to any aspect about it. Pogja.
Okay, so I did not think that we would be breaking into Castrum Lacus Littora because that is supposed to be like north of Bajja, right? And we're in the southern front. So I thought that was something we were going to be like working towards over several patches. So I don't know if there was like a mislocalization or something like that in saying that it was like further north. Well, but that's one thing that surprised me.
I was going to say, well, it's the southern front. Our military front is from the south, not necessarily. Yeah, you understand where I'm going. Like, we are approaching it from the south.
Yeah, we're approaching it from the south. Like the coast, like from literally as far south in Bajja as you can get.
And we're going north.
So, anyway, I was just kind of surprised by that. I wasn't expecting to be going there so soon. The other thing that I'm surprised by was the fact that there was all this focus on the 4th Imperial Legion being all about like Beastmasters and like magic users and not using like traditional Magitech. And yet all of the preview stuff that we've seen has been fighting these like giant like Magitech monsters. Which was also like kind of, out of left field here. I was a little bit confused. I was hoping to see like some awesome, Beastmaster like teaser stuff, and we didn't get that. I mean, obviously, like I'm so excited for this content. Like, holy crap, it looks so good. I'm so pumped. But that was weird. One thought I did have is what are they calling the encounters? Not the
critical engagements.
Critical engagements.
Critical engagement. Right. It reminds me of like way back from like 1.0 when they were talking about having like open world primals.
Yeah.
And instances of primals like appearing in the overworld that like people would have to get to and be able to engage like in mode. And I can't help but wonder if this isn't like a first step, a sort of like test to see if they can put something like this in like open world, overworld content in the next expansion.
I will admit,
because it's just so much promise. The idea of these critical encounters, I think, in terms of like injecting life into the open world in a way that like there hasn't really been in 14 before. It's just like it's so exciting to me.
Now, I'll admit, when they first talked about it and they first mentioned critical engagements in the live letter and they described it and how you would get in, I was a little bit apprehensive because it sounded a little bit BA-like.
Sort of. A little bit less.
Sort of.
As much more RNG as it is less RNG.
Yeah, it's RNG, but it's RNG, but they took it out of the player's hands, which is good. This is something you have to queue for, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with, this being from the game side instead of like, hey, you need to join a Discord for this, and yada yada yada. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you won't need Discord or anything for these critical engagements.
No. But for something for something that overall includes 72 people, correct?
No.
Like
No.
no, wait. No, for the entirety of Bajda, that
Bajda is 72 people. The whole zone
that's
is
what I'm
72.
saying.
Okay, yeah.
Right,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For something that includes 72 people, and then limiting this, I don't know how I feel about that in terms of people getting rewards and people getting what they like, what some things they're actually there for instead of, actual weapons and shit. Like something like mounts and shit and things like that. And missing out on that because you couldn't queue in and yeah. Go ahead.
I understand why they did this. Because in Eureka, people would just AFK in town until someone else like forced something to spawn, and then they go for it. And that was just, it was bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. And the idea that like if you don't participate, you don't get to like do these engagements is great. And I think like in the first couple of weeks, people are going to be getting frustrated because like everyone's going to be wanting to do it. But then after that, we are going to be in like a similar position where people get so lazy, and it'll be good. Like if you don't participate, if you don't make the thing pop, then you don't get to.
You guys discuss this.
I think
I need to
ultimately
take
it's gonna.
call. You guys continue to discuss.
We're good.
Yeah, no worries.
We're good. But my thing is,
yeah. So I think ultimately it's going to be a good thing.
But my thing is, and I'll go ahead and be a little bit, quote unquote entitled. It's my content,
Please.
and I want it now. And I'm gonna be one of those people
Do it.
who's doing it on the first day it comes out, and like as with most people, we don't want to be there all day. We don't want to be there for weeks on end just because we couldn't get into critical engagements and things like that. So I'm wondering if they're to weed out the people who AFK'd at the Aetheryte, who just stood there and waited until something happened, to weed those people out. I'm wondering if there was another way altogether around this, because this feels like this, something like, not all the way, it's not this extreme, but it feels like taking away our words in PvP somewhat.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there could have been another way. Sorry, Matt, you want to jump in?
So I'm assuming you were just going over the random selection and that versus the as a counter argument to AFKing.
Yeah.
This is going to be a problem the first few weeks, and then it won't be a problem anymore because.
And that's what I'm saying. But the thing is,
that's exactly what I said.
Yeah, and that's what you said. And but the thing is, Mike, it's my content, and I want it now. I'm doing it now, so I don't have to do it in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering.
I can answer that.
Yeah.
Look, I think it depends on the cooldown critical engagements, right? I think if in the first couple of weeks a lot of people are pushing to pop them and to spawn them, and they can just like pop like one after the other, people are out there like doing it, then you're not going to be waiting long, even if like you miss it the first time or the second time or whatever. After that, a couple of weeks in, when people are not like so active and are going to be like trying to AFK for the free chicken, then when you do pop it, you're going to have like Mike said, like a guaranteed in.
Right.
Yeah. So there's one that's 24 and there's one that's 48, and then the one that's 1 is after a 24, or we also don't know if there's a solo one after the 48. We don't know that yet because they just said it's after other critical engagements. If the 24 man ones spawn frequently, the one thing I want to see, and they didn't make any mention of, is some sort of restriction on someone getting it again for a short period of time, so that way it can rotate.
So like
between...
a cooldown.
Yeah, like
a
if you
cooldown.
just did a 24-man one and they spawn quickly enough that in theory you could just go be a part of the next one and somebody could just keep RNG getting fucked out of it. I would like to see some sort of like recently participated in a critical engagement must rest or some shit like that. Yeah, or if you can pop another one while one is still in progress. Like if there's enough of them around the map that you could say, okay, we're working on this critical engagement, and somebody else go, oh, well, we're working on this critical engagement, and the objectives can be split.
pop them simultaneously.
Yeah, and take place on different parts of the map. All they've said is they spawn very often. That's all we know about skirmishes and critical engagements. They said that they are not infrequent.
Yeah. And then, which
it seems like they don't have a cooldown. It seems like it's not going to be like they have like a 2 or 3 or 4 hour cooldown each.
I'd imagine the fort would, though. I can't imagine getting a lot of fort
something
missions.
that major. Yeah, I would agree. And then I don't know if we got into this yet, but there's the whole issue of the rewards, especially from the 1v1. We don't know what that is yet. We don't know if this is something everybody individually has to do and has to get for themselves to get whatever comes out of that 1v1, which I'm really looking forward to the 1v1. I hope and pray it.
I think it's just going to be bonus metal.
Just bonus metal for like the person who wins the 1v1. You think? I mean, I don't know. I think that would put something really, really special in that shit. But I mean, bonus metal just seemed like for doing something they said to be kind of on the what they said something along the lines of like ultimate type.
No, he immediately said 2 seconds later, if you're good at battle content, you won't have a problem. Yeah. They literally 2 seconds later said, if you are acclimated to battle content, you will not find this difficult.
Yeah, it's going to be like any 1v1 instance.
I mean, they did say the guy in the picture died in 12 seconds, though.
With lost actions, though. That's the thing. Yeah. Like, you will need to have specific lost actions to do it. Yeah.
They did say the person in the screenshot died in 12 seconds.
Lost actions. Yeah, because he didn't have like self heals in the lost actions as a DPS, right?
Something I don't know.
Revive.
Yeah. So that's all it's gonna be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in with Dispel and Cure. That's what I'm going in with. Dispel and Cure.
No Reflect?
No, maybe Protect.
Yeah, for sure.
There's actually not that many lost actions. We got to see one of the other things with Bajja is they've clearly put a lot more effort into the UI elements of it. There was a Bajja Finder for making parties inside Bajja. There was what's it called? There was a UI that tracks every lost action and item that you've acquired. And there was one more that I
it looks
remember.
Good.
Yeah. So there's a lot of they put a lot of effort into this, and so I'm not that worried about critical engagement.
Real talk, like looks really good. Like the UI and UX team have been doing some work, so kudos to them. Oh, and I just realized my Wi-Fi is getting worse and I'm on like a 6-second delay in this conversation. So I'm sorry about that, guys.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm also going to hit you with some knowledge. I do have a tech coming out today for something, and he's supposed to come between 2 and 4. That's why I went to go take the phone call, but it was just the automated call letting me know that I have an appointment and not that person calling me. So I had completely forgotten about that. So if I get that call, we will be ending very shortly after that. Just letting you know. So let's get through this. Let's get through the rest of this. Now, one thing one thing we really glanced over. Pretty important detail. We were right into critical engagement, skirmishes, metal, lost actions. Well, you can level in here.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, which is fantastic.
Buddy. It is our deep dungeon replacement since we know we're not getting one in Shadowbringers.
Oh boy. So you need to be level 71 right, to get in here.
Just like Heaven on High is
That's it.
61,
71.
and yeah, just like how Heaven on High is 61.
And this is the content to tide us over until 5.4. Oh boy, you have time to get jobs leveled, which I'm probably going to be using this to level jobs.
Yeah, I mean that's I see. I don't have a purpose
definitely.
for that, but I'm glad they took this route. It upsinks you to 80. You have all your 80 skills the whole time you're leveling. Everyone's set to item level 430. And they even said that there is gear with the Bajjan effect in there to earn. That's stuff that makes you stronger in Bajja itself. So,
Honestly, I'd take this over Deep Dungeon any day. I think like I'm so psyched for this content. I think this content is going to be like what I play more than anything else in 5.3, and I think that's going to be true of like most people.
So add the fact that you are able to level jobs here. This is going to be a real moneymaker. If people are leveling jobs,
we still don't know if there's anything very expensive in there. We know there's like mounts, minions, like whatever. But if it's all just from lockboxes,
but
then
the
there's
actions.
Yeah, but we don't know. Actually, the way they describe the actions is kind of weird. You have like a weight system for the actions where you have to like obtain the crystals from like killing monsters or doing skirmishes, whatever. And then you have to basically set a loadout that's maxes out at this weight. We don't know about the tradability of all those, the earnability. That's question marks that we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. We'll find out. Yeah. We're damn sure gonna find out.
So that's a big bet. But yeah, I'm probably gonna spend a lot of time in this. I don't see myself. I love the fact that there's Bajjan effect stuff, because here's the thing. I'm now thinking about that as best in slot for the actual BA2, which they confirmed for 5.4, which will most likely be 5.4x. So now I've got 5.4 Savage.
Oh yeah.
5.4x Bajja Arsenal. Fuck it. And then 5.5 Ultimate. So. And who knows? Maybe they have something that's different than BA and whatever for the finale, or they have another BA. Because keep in mind, it still needs a finale at the end of it all with 5.5x. So, and honestly, with the type of Gabronth, the type of character Gabronth is, there's a lot of things that could be in an Arsenal equivalent of the inner machinations of the Fourth Legion. There's a lot of shit they could be keeping locked up in there. Also, we get to climb ladders, so.
Right.
I'm like, how does a Lalafell climb that fucking ladder, dude? It's not possible. It's literally not possible.
I love it how we're fighting against the Legion with like, all of this crazy like giant magitech, and we're fighting giant robot battles over in Worlets, but the true technological advancement of patch 5.3 is the ladder. We're going to defeat the Empire with ladders.
Hey, dude, it worked. It worked in the Two Towers in Lord of the Rings. Who cares if they didn't have robots? It doesn't matter.
Did it? Like, I'm pretty sure. Like, it almost did.
I mean, it was working at least a little bit until they blew up the wall. The bomb was probably the more important thing, but the ladders were. It's important.
Yeah. Yeah, they did some work with the ladders.
Yeah.
The Garleans definitely won't expect ladders.
I mean, yeah, with all this magic and shit, they'd be like, "Oh, we put magical force fields up to stop their magic. We've got anti-air turrets. We've got this. You know what? They don't have anti-ladder technology. They never thought about that. Idiots. Absolute idiots." So yeah, Bajja is going to be hyped. Working on the weapon, they just kind of reiterated the same details. Work on it inside, work on it outside. He just said, no, it's not poetics. I'm like, I don't know if you're lying. He said in an interview last week, he's like, I'm not going to say it's like light, but it could be like light, And I'm definitely not working. I mean, I'll probably do one on the outside to compare. See how long it takes to do it like the old school way versus doing it in Bajja. I feel like that could still be somewhat interesting to know. Oh, you can mount the whole time. There's Aetherites to
that's
to
content.
inside, so all that stuff is still there. It seems I do feel the Eureka feedback in a lot of their design choices here. You can't. The only thing, I guess, if there's any content locked behind higher metal is the one question mark. Then perhaps that's like the one thing that you couldn't do with your friends, because one of the big complaints with elemental level was if you're elemental level 30 and your friend's 20, outside of fates, you pretty much didn't talk to each other. There was a non-factor. This metal isn't the same as elemental level. From how they've described it, it's a military rank above all else. But they did imply that higher tier missions.
I was thinking.
Yeah. Yes, Ethys?
I was feeling like metal might be tied to the critical engagements, and that there might be like metal prerequisites for queuing for particular critical engagements, because they said that the point of metal was that you were like pushing that line forwards, and it's like nearer to the starting camp there will be critical engagements that are just like fighting against kind of generic like Magitech bosses or whatever, but as you're pushing like further and further and further and further towards the castrum, the prerequisite requirements for those engagements is going to be higher and higher until like the 48-man one is going to be like max level metal required to participate. That's the impression that I was getting just looking at it.
Yeah, same.
So do you think we get at the end, like max metal, do you think we get an open-ended 72-man engagement?
At the end of it all, I don't see why they wouldn't try to involve the whole zone. I mean, not here, not in this zone, but in 5.5, I'm hard-pressed to think they're going to try to fuck people out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just it's weird because it's not like you just gain the level when you gain metal, when you gain the points. You have to go back to an NPC and like feed him whatever amount you have to like say, hey, I have enough to increase my rank within the resistance kind of thing. So it's not like an EXP bar that's just at the bottom and I'm a new rank now and I can just do the next one. So that's that. I can't wait.
I suppose the question that remains is like, what's the impetus to increase your metal if you don't need it to get the weapon, if you don't need it to get the gear, if it's just about like content?
Yeah, I think you might maybe you'll need it to equip the Bajra effect stuff, or you'll need it to earn the Bajra effect armor, even. Because why would you need Bajra effect armor? Like that, you only need that inside Bajra. That's not like the relic where you could say, you can do it inside or out. No. That doesn't make sense. I don't believe that.
Okay, that's realism.
Yeah. Fortunately, after they were done with Bajra, they made sure to follow up with the other most exciting announcement of the return of the Yokai Watch event and its official date. I like how you both made the same face, exact same face.
Because here's the thing. I mean, I feel like a lot of us have been talking shit about Yokai Watch, but me in particular, again, I'll eat crow on this one. New shit looks good. New shit looks fucking amazing. Like the weapons for the new jobs look amazing. I was wrong. I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that. Like, they look fucking amazing. I mean, in conjunction with me leveling in Bajra and then getting these jobs leveled, I would want these weapons. Yeah.
I don't know why they were like, let's not update any of the old weapons, but let's make the new weapons not look like shit.
Yeah. I mean, that's extra development time. That's extra shit that they have to do, but sure. I'm okay with it.
The new mount is even better. Although they said his movement animation is apparently really weird and they didn't show us.
That new mount is the depiction of horror. Like, oh my god, it's almost like the Donnie Darko bunny suit. The Donnie Darko bunny suit we got from like one of the earlier events this year, one of the earlier Like I compare it to that.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's going to be running from the 19th of August till 5.4, that event. They also gave us the schedule with Moonfire Fair being the 12th to the 26th, the Rising being the 27th through September 10th, and finally the Make It Rain campaign, which has been merged with the Halloween event.
Yeah.
Which was not actually that surprising because
That's going to be interesting.
They did a murder mystery one year with the Make It Rain campaigns. That's not really that far out, you know?
And then with the All Saints Wake, I guess, happening at the same time, I could see something really, really special.
Well, there's no mention of All Saints Wake here, so unless it's also
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, so it's probably going to be merged. They're probably going to merge the two and do something really special with like a murder mystery and a zone, like I don't know, a zone that you can go into. I don't know. Like, I feel like they're going to do something really special with this. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, me too.
You think they're going to do like a Nightmare Before Christmas kind of?
Well, we have Good King Moggle Mog song in there already, so that's the Nightmare Before Christmas song. Anyway, we have that, so. All right. So that was it for the game aspects. They didn't show Unreal Shiva. My bigger surprise, they did not even explain Faux Hollow.
The Faux Hollows, yeah.
They're just like, fuck it, you'll figure it out.
Well, we'll get it in the patch notes.
Yeah, but like we kind of need to know how that thing fucking works, because if it's some shit I can fuck up and I can only do it weekly, I'd rather know if it's not just a game of luck or not. It's probably a game of luck or a game of chance.
More than likely, it probably is. Yeah.
We'll find out the hard way.
Yeah, we sure fucking will. And then they went into announcements. The first announcement they had was not a surprise in any way. The confirmation of the Japanese Fan Fest being canceled. Technically, it was possible for them to still hold it, but they would have had to reduce attendance by half or more. And they would have needed more staff, which would have also affected attendance numbers even more. They would have had to clean everything. And they just decided, not worth it. We'll try and hold it another time, another place, or do another type of event. I think we all agree none of these fan fests are probably going to be held, not even Europe. Because even if they can hold them, there are still no doubt going to be restrictions that they have to adhere to.
Yeah, it would still be irresponsible, I think. I think we can basically all agree on that.
Yeah.
Yep. So at this point, we're really just looking forward to maybe some sort of online event. I mean, like we said, currently, Comic-Con online at home is going on right now. So yeah, I'd be okay with that. I would be okay with something along the lines of that, and then all the merch and everything being funneled through online. Just good luck getting some.
Yeah, have fun getting your lore book this time, Ethys.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be easier for you this time. It'll actually be easier.
Will it though? Because
I'll be able to
the minute they say like we're all watching the same, watching the same stream. The minute they say something about it, everybody's going to be clicking the button and.
Well, assuming they'd sell an online ticket, I'd assume online ticket holders would be priority.
Okay.
I just think it'll be easier for him than living in Australia, where him coming to North America and buying it was infinitely easier than him ever having to have it sent to Australia. I'd imagine Norway is infinitely easier.
The Spreading Sword doesn't ship to Australia.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it'll be much easier. No, one way or another, I'll get it.
May not get it as quickly, but a lot different than flying to a whole other country. Comparatively, having it sent to you as opposed to traveling to another country, probably the better alternative for buying it. Yeah, because you'll buy it from Europe.
You know, that's like low main reason that I was actually going to every fan fest for Sigurd.
I know it was. That's the sad thing. I'm like, yeah, I know that's part of the reason. So Europe, they haven't confirmed the cancellation for Europe
Priorities, man.
yet. Technically, Europe, the venue for Europe is becoming is opening up. It's like actually able to hold events again sometime soon. I think at the beginning of September or the end of September, one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
But there will be regulations in place, and I think that's just going to result in them canceling it as well. That's just what I think will happen.
Mm-hmm.
They did a little advertising. Oh no, yes. Ethys, say it. What were you going to say, Ethys?
Yes.
What were you going to say, Ethys?
I was just saying that I hope so. I do cancel like one way or another.
Okay. I just had to check because I cut you off. Okay. All right. So I know he's still working with a pretty long delay. So I gotta wait a little bit. Then they showed off some other things. They do a patch note reading. They do that every patch. They advertise some of the community events they've been hosting on the 14 channel. The NA Duty Commence, the EU Wolves Den PvP stream, the EU Unending Journey, and the JP apparently very mistranslated title of How Do You Like Hydaelyn? Which is not what that actually translates to, but the team liked it, apparently. The team was a fan of that one. So they'll take it. They'll take it right here. Then new installments of Tales from the Shadowbringers for this year's Rising. We expected that. Those have been fantastic. Last year's were fantastic. Looking forward to having a whole show on that and failing the questions on Air Zivia. They showed off a few figures. They showed off Y'shtola. They showed off the Omega MNF statue. Yes, Sly. What?
Why?
What do you mean why? Why what?
They want our money.
Yeah. What do you think this Omega Simulations emote is? Because they didn't show it.
Well, yeah.
Some people are saying the goop that it turns into.
Yeah.
The little goop. Yeah.
Goop. The goopty poop.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was like Scholar's Change Stratagem, the screen that they show. But the goop makes more sense, I think.
Wait. Do you think we're going to turn into goop? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Sly?
Yeah, for the
emote's
emote.
going to like have us turn into goop?
Yeah, the emote's going to be us falling into
dude.
goop and then
No,
coming
fuck
back
that.
out of the goop.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. No, fuck that noise.
You don't
No
want
way.
to be goop?
What do you
How
think
about
it is?
that?
This? What do you think it is?
No.
What if it's that
I know.
spiral in the
It's probably
statue
goop.
itself? What if the spiral is the simulation? What's up? I don't care. I'm not buying either of these statues. It doesn't fucking matter to me. It'll be another thing people spam in fucking beginning of PvP matches, and then I'll never see it again. All right. The real news, though, was the fucking EDM Final Fantasy 14 album.
Boy, howdy. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. When the trailer came on, and I listened to it like a lot of Diverse Systems, and Diverse System again is an all-around label in Japan. Like they do EDM, they do house, they do drum and bass, they do pretty much everything. I'm like, man, this shit sounds a lot like Diverse Systems. And then maybe like a day later, I'm like, is it really Diverse Systems? And I go look because they have a website up. Nah, this is all done in-house. This is all done. If you go look at the Pulse website, you can see for every song, Soken's in on it. And one of the arrangers for the 7 remake soundtrack is in on some of the songs too. I forget who else, but yeah, this is all done in-house at Square. And this is amazing. This just proves their gods.
What?
Like they could go to any label they want to, or they could create a freaking label. I don't know at this point, but yeah. Please, you're gonna want to pre-order this album.
It's so apparently it's being made mostly the people who are composing the songs are actually younger employees that are being overseen by veterans like Soken, who's on pretty much every track. And man, I already liked the Tempest theme, and now there's an even better version of it. I want to know what the fucking twinning theme sounds like because it's in the track list. The twinnings theme.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm pretty fucking ready. When's the country album? when's the Titan? When's the bow down over dweller, bow down over dweller, bow down over dweller, Titan. When's that?
Oh my god.
So
wow.
good. Call me.
It's so dumb.
I'm ready for it. Clint Blackrose. There you go. All right. Come on now. That's the next step. They're gonna make an album in like every genre that exists. All right. Let's be honest. The game's natural album track already covers like everything except country. Picturing Titan sitting on a stool with a banjo. I think it would be a kobold, though, singing about it, not Titan. And a kobold I could imagine with the banjo. That's easy. All right.
Is that the cover art?
That's the cover art.
For, yeah.
That's the cover art. And then
So
you get the Garuda start, but it's just banjo strings instead. The da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, but it's just banjo. The whole album just needs to be done with a banjo. That's all I need. No kazooies. Kobold Lumpkins. I'm dying here. I could do this all day.
So that was the live letter.
That was the live. I pre-ordered that shit instantly. I have no idea. Oh, that was great. I can't. Dude, I'm gonna be listening. I've put that album on repeat so many times. You have no fucking idea. Just the little teaser of it. Just over and over again. Hey, also a country song technically with Nelly. That's a country song. Over and over again. That counts. There you go.
Thank you guys so much for coming out for this. Thank you guys so much for coming out for this edition of State of the Realm.
Yeah.
Happy you did the usual thing.
All right. I barely got the stream working today, so I'm always very nervous. So I'm not gonna move around scenes. Thank you again to our sponsors for the show. I'm not gonna play the ad again on YouTube, but again, Romancing Saga Reuniverse sponsored the YouTube side of this as well. There's a download link for that in the description. I also released a video about it on Friday today when I'm recording, when we're recording this, but tomorrow when you see it on YouTube, it'll be yesterday. Go watch that. Go check it out. There's also live stream footage of it. Steel Series sponsored, of course. Giveaway, enter, free shit. You hear it every week. It's always there. Enjoy it. And then, of course, our Patreon sponsors, whose names have been scrolling in the top right the entire time, who have been, they've been bosses, absolute bosses as of late. Yeah, I think I still point the wrong way every time anyway. I literally do this every time because it's like this way on my monitor, but it's actually this way when I reverse it. So, you're going to stop pointing now, Ethys, at any point? He's listening to Pulse right now, by the way. Sly's listening to Pulse right now. I can already see it for the outro. So thank you to all of them. Thank you to our patrons of Darkness, Khuja Cross on Jenova, and Kurenai Oni, who have gone above and beyond with supporting over the last, God, however many months. I don't even know. But thank you to them. Thank you to all of our sponsors. And with that, we can finally sign out. Ethys, before your Wi-Fi completely gives up on you, where can they find you at?
Yeah, guys. Sorry again about the shitty Wi-Fi and the shitty sound. Like as I said, I'm like way up north in the fjords and mountains and all that. But it's been quite a while since I got to hang out with you guys, so I didn't want to miss that opportunity. So thank you very much for having me. You can of course find me on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, all the places. Ethys Asher. There's a lot of new stuff coming down the pipeline, particularly on YouTube, and a very exciting secret project that I am working on, which hopefully I'll be able to talk to you guys about pretty soon. But it is, Mike knows what I'm talking about. It's hype. It's going to be great.
Why you got to put that on me? Yeah, now they're going to come to
again.
me.
Yeah, Sly don't know shit.
Ask Mike. Don't ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you very much, guys. I hope you're all well and healthy and safe. And yeah, I miss you all, and thank you very much for watching. Sly?
Hi.
That
Hi,
means
I'm
it's your
Sly.
turn now.
Hey.
There you go.
Hey, I know. Well, same. I am Sly. You can find me on Twitch.tv/Sly, aka Gray Fox, Twitter @Sly the Fox. As of recent, like, games, Ghost of Tsushima. I'm looking forward to this. You can look forward to me dressing up as Dadgar and making ribs the week of patch, because I will be doing that. I will teach you how to make ribs.
Are you getting like a lion outfit for it too?
No, just a shirt and khakis.
Okay.
And
Well, now everyone's going to
that's it.
ask for you to have that, so you're welcome.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, I'll teach you how to make ribs. St. Louis style ribs. Keep it simple. Other than that, games, the usual. Playing everything and anything, waiting on new content, which we're getting to. So please look forward to it. Hi. And Mike, last but not least, what you doing?
No, it can be
Right.
leased. That's fine. You know, that's...
Oh, you said it.
There you go. You can find me, Mr. Abby1227, on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. I think you know that probably by now. I finished Origami King today, and it was pretty freaking good. I didn't do the collectibles, though. So that I still need to go back and do. Apparently, there's a different ending if you get all the collectibles. So that means I've got some work ahead of me. Fate Tactics comes out July 31st. Tactics-style RPG. I'm going to be playing that. Temtem updated earlier this week. I've put a few hours in, but I need to put more hours into it.
So did Dauntless.
Dauntless, yeah, Dauntless. I need more time for. 14 we've been playing more. We've actually been doing Party Finder and BA as of late. What else am I forgetting? I'm not even excited about PSO2 anymore. I'm just gonna wait till this new Genesis thing hits. I don't care if they have 2 fucking games running simultaneously. I don't even give a fuck about the first game anymore. Sorry, Sega, you really dropped the ball on making me give a fuck about PSO2 anymore. And then what is Crystal Chronicles in August, and then there's patch 5.3, and then there's Mortal Shell, and then there's Basha, and then there's some other stuff. There's a lot of stuff. I can't wait. So that's what I'm doing. So I hope you guys enjoy it. But I still have not gotten a call, but I am expecting a call for an appointment today. So I'm going to wrap this up now that we've done almost a 2.5-hour show. Thank you, Ethys, for joining us despite your shitty internet. Sly, always good to have you. Thank you for accommodating last minute as I forgot to make the show. I forgot to say, yeah, show will be earlier. Hence why I'm in this situation with waiting for this appointment. So,
dude, you told me earlier this week, and I was like, okay, I remember.
Yesterday, I told you. That is earlier this week. Because Ethys asked me what time, and I'm like, oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. That needs to be a different time now. Okay, yeah, let me fix that. Okay, there you go. All right, well, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, everyone in the chat. I'm going to hope the stream doesn't crash, and I'm going to move us over to the outro screen.
Thank you.
Very short post show. Thank you for joining us, and I don't know what the schedule looks like next week yet, so Sly will talk about that. So thanks, everyone.
Yeah, we sure will.
Goodbye, everyone.
See you next week.
See you next week? Question mark?
Possibly, I don't know. We'll talk about it. We'll let you know on Twitter.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Either way, see you when you see it.
See you when we see you.